Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin, and I am a recovering addict. And today, or this evening, the goal and what we're doing is we're presenting to you somewhat of a high level of what is the BMLT and who is the BMLT and how certain parts of it for training. So the agenda, the presenters are going to be Alan B., who's a BMLT contributor, Steve S., who's BMLT documentation and a WordPress specialist, Garrett W., who's BMLT documentation contributor and a WordPress developer. Myself, I'm BMLT documentation and a UX and a contributor. And we also have Mike R. from the Wisconsin Region PR sharing some learning lessons and experiences they've had with the BMLT in play in the Wisconsin region. So first, we're going to talk about what is the BMLT and who is the BMLT. We hear these acronyms all the time. A lot of people always ask me, what is the BMLT? What does it stand for? So the BMLT is the Basic Meeting List Toolbox. And what is Crouton? Crouton is a piece of software that's been developed as a WordPress plugin to display meetings. What is Bread? And Steve's going to do the what is Crouton and how can I use it? What is Bread? Bread is a piece of technology that has been written to take meeting information in a database and present it in a PDF of a meeting list. So it's real time. And how can I use it? And that's going to be Alan B. as well. Then we'll move into best practices, and I'll be sharing about moving from a regional root server to a zonal root server, some of the naming conventions, how as the chairperson of the Carolina Regional Web Technology team that I manage area admins, changing passwords with rotation of service and how to maintain some of that. Then Garrett's going to get into best practices of managing a website, checking links, event calendars, how to display service meetings. And then we're going to wrap it up with Mike from Wisconsin talking about the BMLT learning lessons. And then at the end, we're going to open it up for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever we have left over. We might have more time for a Q&A. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Alan and let Alan share some of his wisdom and experience with a BMLT and what it is.
Thanks, Kevin, and thanks everybody for coming. My name's Alan. I'm an addict. I'm from Seattle and work on. I'm the local web servant, but I also work on BMLT and do some software development stuff. All right. So anyway, so this is the Seattle website. Typical NA website. For newcomers, meeting, service, etc. And it's using BMLT, which, as Kevin said, is a basic meeting list toolbox. We've got this whole sort of sandwich theme in our naming. We've got crouton and bread, and there's another thing called lettuce and a tomato. And anyway, it's slightly weird, but NA people are weird. Okay, so if I find a meeting on the Seattle site, I get a little table of meetings. Here they are for Friday or Saturday, Thursday. I can look through the cities and groups. So this is actually done using BMLT, using Crouton that Steve will show you in a minute. So this is one of the main ways that folks will be interacting with BMLT. Is it's a way to put up meeting lists on your area website or your regional website. Here's a printable meeting list for Seattle NA. And then, it's a two-sided piece of paper. And this was also produced from BMLT. So it's produced from exactly the same data, which is cool. And I'll show you in a minute how you update things. Okay, so those are the two main ways that folks would be interacting with BMLT if you're just using the website. Or there's some other tools for map-based search and so forth. Now, if you are wanting to start using this software, the best place to go is this website, bmlt.app. So it's got, you know, a blog, it's got the apps, it's got help information and so forth. So this is the center of all our documentation. Let me briefly explain what the different parts of the system are. So there are two things. One is called what we call BMLT satellites. So those are the things we just saw on the Seattle area website, like the tab meeting list, or there's a map-based leading list that we could look at later, or the printable schedule. All of those things are driven from a database that's in the second thing called the BMLT root server. So this is a separate program, and the satellites, you know, the meeting list on your web page and all that, get their information from this database here. And the cool thing is it's all synchronized. So if I make a change to this database, right away when I print out a new schedule, the meeting change will be there. As soon as somebody looks at the web page to say, where is the meeting, they'll find it. So you don't have one version and an obsolete version, and your schedules, their printed schedules, only coming out every 3 months. And we can consolidate this information and put it out at the regional level or the world level even. Okay, so here are 3 main ways folks can get involved with BMLT to help make it happen. One is an area web servant who's maintaining the meeting information, and I'll show you a little demo in a second of how to do that. This doesn't need much technical skill, so this is a key point. You know, you don't need to be some techie person to do this. You just need to be able to update information using a web form. You know, Kevin and other folks who have onboarded lots of people have said, gee, you know, they were really intimidated. And then after a couple of months, they said, gee, this was pretty easy. This is cool. I can do this. Okay. Another role is if your area doesn't have BMLT, you want to get it onto the website. And this needs a little bit of technical skill using WordPress or something else. But it's just a one-time thing. You just need to get it on there, and then you're in mode 1 here of just updating the information. And there's lots of help available. Kevin's going to talk about the kinds of help that we can give. The final role is maintaining a root server. So remember I said there were these 2 different things here. This one is more techy, but the root server can serve many, many areas. So the one I'm involved is for the Western States Zonal Forum. And so that serves, you know, 11 states, Washington, Oregon, California, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't need a lot of these things. If you're interested, you know, we can help you figure out whether you've already got one someplace or setting it up. This is the only really techie one. This one, which is what the area web servants are likely to do, is not a particular technical thing. Okay, so let's have a look at how you edit meetings. So I'm going to go to this login page, BMLT administration. So this is talking to the root server. I'm going to log in as Seattle area because you know, I'm the web guy for Seattle. I'm actually doing this on a little test server because I'm going to edit our meeting information, and I don't want to mess everything up for people actually looking for a meeting. So let's see. So here's a display of some current meetings. This one has a map, and Steve will show you how to do that in a minute. So suppose that this meditation meeting here is actually only an hour. It says it's 10 to 11:30, and let's say it's only an hour. So let me go here, and then I'll pick meeting editor. Let's look for meetings on Friday. Okay, so there's Meditation Matters. And let's change the duration to 1 hour. Save it. And here I'll bounce back here. And if I refresh the screen, now it's 10 to 11. So that's pretty easy. And if I print out a schedule, it'll be updated right there too. Let's do another change. Suppose that meditation matters, they're having a good time and they want to have an evening meditation also. So I could create a whole new meeting, but check this out. I'll just make a new name. And let's say this starts at 8 p.m. and I'll save this as a new meeting. Okay, so now I've got a second one of these. So let's check it out again. Okay, so here's, oops, did I just manage to change my original one? Probably. I forgot to save the old one. But anyway, here we made meditation matters in the evening. Let me show you one last thing. Suppose here's this AMNA at the Linwood Alano Club, and that's a virtual meeting with the facility closed. So suppose that they actually open up. So if I go here, it says it's currently a temporarily closed facility. And instead of a virtual meeting, let's say that turns into a hybrid meeting. That means that there is both an in-person and a virtual one at the same time. So to just save those changes, let's bounce back to our meeting list here. And here it is, meets virtually and in person. So, you know, as things shift around with the pandemic, this makes it much easier to keep things up to date. You know, as meetings open, as new Zoom addresses come and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to show for how to use it. I'm hoping you can see that this seems pretty easy as a way to maintain your meeting list and keep everything in sync. So let me turn it over to Kevin and the next person.
So let's see, I wanted to just give everybody just a quick kind of overview of how the BMLT works. So the BMLT is basically a database, and you can pull the data for the meeting information from many places, and we have a number of different WordPress clients. And this screen is actually on the bmlt.app website. So feel free to take a look at it. And if you have any questions, feel free to use the